Life doesn't always go the way we expect, does it? At times it feels like we're being tested, like the weight of the world is pushing us down, and no one else seems to understand what we're going through. But here's something you may not have considered. The very challenges that seem insurmountable right now are the same ones that are shaping you into the person you're meant to become. The chosen ones, the people throughout history who've left an undeniable mark on the world, didn't get there by living easy, carefree lives. They were shaped by adversity, molded by hardship, and empowered by their ability to embrace their inner strength. Consider Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, 27 years of isolation, hardship, and what seemed like an impossible struggle. Most people would have crumbled under the weight of such a burden. But Mandela emerged stronger, not weaker. He embraced his inner strength during those years, and when he was finally released, he didn't seek revenge. He sought unity and forgiveness. His strength didn't come from physical power or even political influence. It came from within, from his ability to endure, to rise above, and to keep believing in a better future despite everything. So often we look at people like Mandela, Gandhi, or Malala Yousafzai, and we think they're extraordinary. They have something I don't. But what if that's not true? What if the inner strength that allowed them to overcome their challenges is something we all possess? The difference isn't in what they have, but in how they choose to use it. They understood that real strength comes from within, from the ability to keep moving forward even when the odds are stacked against you. You see, we all have that kind of power inside us, but most of us never tap into it. Why? Because we don't believe it's there. We've been conditioned to think that strength is something you're born with, or something you develop through physical training or sheer willpower. But true strength, the kind that carries you through life's toughest moments, is something deeper. It's the quiet resilience inside you that whispers, "Keep going," when everything else is telling you to stop. Take Helen Keller as another example. She was both blind and deaf, and yet she became one of the most influential and inspirational figures in history. She didn't let her disabilities define her. Instead, she embraced her inner strength and became a powerful advocate for people with disabilities. She once said, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." That's what inner strength is, the ability to overcome, to rise, and to keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacles. Think about your own life for a moment. What challenges have you faced? What setbacks have knocked you down? Maybe it was a financial hardship, a loss, or a personal failure. Whatever it was, I'm willing to bet that at the time, it felt like the end of the world. But here you are, reading this, stronger than you were before. That's your inner strength at work. It's what got you through those hard times, even if you didn't realize it at the moment. But here's the thing. Inner strength isn't just something that appears when life gets tough. It's something you can cultivate, something you can nurture and grow. The chosen ones, the people who've changed the world through their resilience, didn't wait for life to knock them down before they started building their inner strength. They worked on it every day in small ways, long before the big challenges came. How do you do that? It starts with self-belief. You have to believe that you're capable of handling whatever life throws at you. That doesn't mean you have to have all the answers or be fearless. It simply means trusting that No matter what happens, you'll find a way to get through it. Look at Serena Williams. She's one of the greatest athletes of all time, not just because of her physical abilities, but because of her mental toughness. She's faced injuries, criticism, and personal challenges, yet she always comes back stronger. Serena has often spoken about how important her mindset is to her success. She believes in herself even when others doubt her. That belief fuels her inner strength and helps her overcome obstacles that would defeat most people. But self-belief is just the beginning. Another key aspect of embracing your inner strength is learning to be comfortable with discomfort. The chosen ones didn't shy away from difficult situations. They didn't avoid pain or hardship. Instead, they leaned into it. They understood that growth happens in the uncomfortable spaces, that real strength is forged in the fire of adversity. Take Rosa Parks, for example. She wasn't a politician or a public figure when she refused to give up her seat on that bus. She was simply a woman who was tired of being treated as less than human. She could have avoided the confrontation. She could have moved to the back of the bus and avoided the fallout. But she didn't. She leaned into the discomfort of that moment. And in doing so, she sparked a movement that would change the course of history. This is what the chosen ones teach us, that discomfort is not something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's in those moments of discomfort that we discover just how strong we really are. Every time you push through a challenge, every time you keep going when you want to give up, you're building your inner strength. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. It's important to remember that inner strength isn't about never feeling weak or afraid. It's about acknowledging those feelings and choosing to move forward anyway. Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel Prize laureate, was shot by the Taliban simply for wanting an education. She could have been consumed by fear after such a traumatic event, but she wasn't. Instead, she used that experience to fuel her fight for education for girls around the world. Malala didn't deny her fear. She faced it head-on and chose to keep fighting. That's what inner strength looks like. It's not about being invincible. It's about being unstoppable. It's about continuing to move forward, even when the path is uncertain, even when you don't know how things will turn out. The chosen ones didn't have all the answers. They didn't know if they would succeed or fail, but they moved forward anyway, trusting in their ability to handle whatever came their way. So what about you? How can you start embracing your inner strength today? First, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for everything to feel right before you take action. Inner strength doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Take the first step, even if you're scared, even if you're unsure. Every small victory builds your confidence and strengthens your resilience. Second, practice gratitude, even in the tough times. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong, but the chosen ones knew how to find the silver lining in even the darkest moments. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that no matter how hard life gets, there's always something to be thankful for, always something that can give you strength. Lastly, surround yourself with people who lift you up. Inner strength doesn't mean you have to go it alone. Even the strongest people need support. The chosen ones often had a community behind them, a tribe of like-minded individuals who believed in their vision and gave them strength when they needed it most. Find your tribe, the people who believe in you, who remind you of your strength when you forget it. Remember, inner strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you cultivate, something you embrace, something that grows with every challenge you face. The chosen ones didn't start out strong. They became strong through the very struggles that tried to break them. And you can do the same. So whatever challenge you're facing right now, know this: you have the strength to get through it. It's already inside you. You just have to embrace it. You are capable of more than you think. And just like the chosen ones before you, you have the power to rise above, to overcome, and to inspire others with your resilience.